All right, what's happening, everybody? So it's been a minute since I came out and did some gig economy work. I've had almost a month off from this. Been working on some other projects. Super excited about that. Can't wait to get that get that stuff off the ground and get some of that video and whatnot uploaded. But I just had some things going on. I had some things going on. I had to go out of town. I got sick for a little bit, for about a week. Had some car issues. We had some cold weather here in Texas for about 3 or 4 days, where it actually was ice on the ground, and we just shut the state down when that happens. We don't really get out. We're not used to it. But no, it's been an interesting second half of January, and now here we are, almost done with the first week in February, and I've just decided to get back out here, and kind of make this the main hustle, like it was. But I am so happy to be able to take some time off. It's been cool getting back into the swing of this. So this is my first day back. It's what are we on, Wednesday already? Let's see. My code don't work. Yeah. So yeah, Wednesday, February 5th. So I'm gonna get this video uploaded tonight, and it'll be out. Well, you'll be watching this. It'll be Thursday. So happy Thursday. But in the past, I was videoing. I was recording or videoing or vlogging, whatever, my DoorDash before. And I started this off with a 20-day challenge to myself to try to earn $4,000 in 20 days, because most of these videos that I watch, everybody was like earning an average of $200 a day. So I thought, oh, okay, well, that's cool. I'll go out and do that too. And, had a rude awakening. But I did finally end up having one solid shift one night with Uber Eats. And I think I had made $145 that night. And that was the first time that had happened. Because prior to that, I think the only time I had a good shift was Thanksgiving Eve? And I had to multi-app between DoorDash and Uber Eats. And I think I got it's been a minute. I'd have to look at my numbers again, but I want to say it was like $130, maybe something like that, 120. But I've since, all the rest of, because that was in, I think, yeah, that was before, that was like the second week of December when that happened. And that's kind of when I figured it out. And for my area, you start at a certain time, and a lot of times I would start around lunch, or between like noon and 3 is when I would try to start, and I would go till roughly 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, right? Because it starts getting addicting. You get on a kind of get this little rush, right, when these offers start coming through, and you just get this little dopamine hit, right? And it's like, oh wow, yeah, that's a good offer, I want to take it. And then it seems like every time that you are starting to kind of feel tired and want to call it a night, good offers come in, and they keep coming back to back, and you just don't want to stop. So it's easy to get addicted to, especially when you just like moving and earning money in the process. But before I get back to what I was saying, before I was just vlogging that experience, and I did that 20-day quest. And so now I'm going to be basically making footage that I don't have to edit, or very minimal editing. I got so behind with all the editing. I had like 6 more days worth of video really to upload, but it was all just kind of the same generic stuff I had already uploaded. And I was just like, I'm sick of watching this. I'm sick of pilfering through it. I'm sick of the editing part of it. It keeps taking forever for me to get it done. And I don't have like official OCD, but I get very obsessive when I start tearing into something, and I leave no stone unturned. And I love being as thorough as possible. And it was just a time suck. It was so time consuming getting that footage edited together. And before, I was using an older iPhone, and I was using the selfie camera. And so the footage was not all that great. And a lot of times when I watch this stuff back, I've even been watching some of my old stuff on my YouTube app on the TV, on the Apple TV at the house and the Rokus and all that stuff. And I was just like, God, this footage is horrible. I mean, as far as the quality of it, you know, I mean, but it is what it is. It's you know, I started on, I mean, I'm not going to like take it down or anything. It's just going to leave it up. But as I'm watching it, I realize like I can't stand watching this. And if I can't stand watching it, then no one else is really going to be able to want to watch it either. So I'm now at a point where, like right now I'm using my Osmo Pocket 3, and I'm just going to use that. And or I also have an Insta360, the little mini Go one that's magnetic, and I'll use some too. And I had used some of that before. I was using it kind of for the POV stuff, and I'm just not really going to shoot that much video anymore. It isn't really necessary. It just isn't necessary to do all that. It just gets old. It's the same old thing anyway. You know what I mean? I may do some of it in the future, but for right now, I'm just going to kind of do this talking head style. Not really going to go through the whole day or go through everything. I'm going to try to make this a little bit more about teaching how to do DoorDash or telling you pros and cons of doing DoorDash. More along those lines versus as just kind of vlogging it. Because I feel like I've just already done that and it's time consuming. It's just time consuming to edit all that footage, and I don't have the time right now. Before I had a little bit of the time, but I still didn't have enough time to edit all that stuff before. But I really don't have it now. And so all the remaining days that I did have, I just scrapped the video. I mean, it's on a hard drive, but I had it all chopped up and ready to go. I just got sick, not ready to go, but ready to go through and edit. But I couldn't stand going through it anymore, so I just moved it all out of CapCut, and it's on a hard drive. Maybe I'll go back to it someday, and I don't know. Maybe some of it's usable. I don't know. I really don't care. I just want to take a different approach. And you know, if I share a little bit as to how I kind of got, you know, started with the gig economy stuff was, for the last 3 years, well, about almost 3 years. So it was like, I want to say April of 22 till November of 24. So I guess about 2.5 years I was cleaning pools. And the company that I had worked for, they ended up selling their pool cleaning department to another company that basically just acquires pool companies and you know, is building a bigger company. And the company I worked with the first go around was just perfect. Like my schedule, like, you know, you were made to feel like your own boss, right? You could go to their warehouse, you could get all your supplies that you needed for that day. You could stock up for a whole week, whatever you needed to do. And then I could go out and I'd hit my first pool somewhere between 6:45 a.m., 7 a.m. And I'd be done with pools like around 1 or 2 p.m. in the afternoon. And then a lot of times you could go and clean a pool filter. And I try to knock out 2 or 3 of those a day if I could. And, you know, the money was exactly where I needed it to be at that time. And and at that time I was also a dual income household. I'm not anymore. But, but at that time I was. And so I was looking for other jobs where I made more money. And then I went and did another job for this tool distributor, and unfortunately that didn't work out. That only lasted 6 weeks, that broke my heart, because I really liked that job and I was really looking forward to growing within that, but it did not work out. So I went back to the pool company that I left, and unfortunately it was just worse before when I left. And so I struggled with it for about, I think I did another 6 weeks there. And, you know, I was trying to negotiate a deal with them to get a better route than the one that they had given me. And they just could not or would not, I really don't know and I don't care, but they could not or would not give me the route I needed in the time frame in which I needed it. And so I just was like, I'm done with people controlling my fate. I'm sick of it. You know, anytime I let someone else have the reins of my life, they screw it up. They don't give a shit. They don't care. You know, it's not their life. They're not living your reality. They're not living your life, and you're not living theirs. And I'm just done. I'm done with that nonsense. I'm 47 years old. I've got 25 years of work history behind me. I can do anything. I can do anything I want to do. I've done everything from warehouse to sales to management, you name it, right? I've done just about every job there is, and I have a lot to offer. There's a lot of things I could film myself doing, uploaded on YouTube, and in, you know, probably this year, by the end of this year, I plan to just be a full-time content creator. It's something I would love to be able to add to my list of accomplishments, to say that I made a living uploading videos to YouTube. That would be great. That would just please me greatly right now. Prior to me cleaning pools, I was a musician. Still am a musician, but I considered myself a full-time musician. I didn't make a lot of money at it. But I made a livable wage, right? And again, it's also when I was dual income, so that made it easier to do. That made it feasible, really. Beyond that, I would have had to live a very scaled down life to even try. But you know, but COVID kind of derailed that for a while, and I never really could kind of get it back. And then in that time, I took on some W-2 jobs, and I did sales again for a little bit. And I was in a situation where that one wasn't really, it just wasn't what I was expecting. And then the pool cleaning thing kind of fell into my lap as just like a go-between job. And I was looking for other jobs, but with the pool cleaning, I was kind of excited to learn that skill, just because I'd always kind of been interested in how pools worked, how they were cleaning, how pools, you know, I never really understood how they worked, and I learned everything there is and more to learn about pools. And so when I got into that, they gave me a truck to where that I could take home, and it was just like it was so easy and so convenient for me that sorry, someone pulled up next to me and it kind of broke my concentration. But anyway, they gave me a truck that I could take home, and so I didn't have to worry about a vehicle. It made it so easy, and it just kind of made life easier for that time period. And then, you know, like before I knew it, I was 2 years in with a company, and things were going great. And it took me probably about a year to really hit my stride, to where I was just owning my day and owning my schedule and making like a good living, especially for being dual income. Like we wanted for nothing. And we had everything we needed and more. And then I was still doing like some musical gigs on the side. I'm in a cover band now, and that's really all I've ever done is cover bands. I'm in a cover band now. We don't play as much. I know the guy that books a lot of the shows, he's working on it. My really only main revenue stream, the one that's bringing in the most money, is the DoorDash situation. Well, I'm doing Uber Eats. I've been trying to do DoorDash. It just hasn't been working out for me that well. But anyway, I've rambled a lot so far, and I want to do videos where it's a little bit more inspiring. I've dashed a little bit tonight. I'm going to call it quits at about 9. I started at about, I think 4. It's at 6 now, so I'm 2 hours in. So I'm going to try to do 5 hours. I just took the time to kind of do some video real quick because I had to update the app, and they had me verify. I guess I'll have to take a picture or tell them that I'm still driving the car I'm driving. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to make this video to break the ice. It's been a minute. I was getting used to talking to the camera every day and at least doing the DoorDash in my car, and now it's a little weird. So now I want to get back onto that. But, you know, it's been an amazing journey, and I want 2025 to just rock, and I want 2026 to rock even harder, and so on and so forth. I'm just done with letting other people control my fate. I'm not going to let jobs control me anymore, control my time. From here on out, I'm in control of that. And, you know, if there's something I can teach to anyone about the gig economy, if I'm worth following, and for those of you who have followed me so far, that's super. I never expected that. It's so awesome to even see that. I thought I was going to have to upload like 1,000 videos. And I mean, it was within, I think after three or four videos that I first uploaded, I had like 2 or 3 subscribers, and people were commenting on my videos, and I had double-digit views. I thought they all would have been a fat 0 for a year or two before anybody, you know what I mean? It just, I don't know. And I know I've seen a lot of videos here lately about how YouTube is pushing small creators, and if that's true, I'm going to try to ride that wave. I'm going to tell you that right now. But I love YouTube. I don't know. Gosh, YouTube. Day one, like, I think, what was it, 05? I was at a job in 05. I was working for actually Hewlett Packard, and I remember sitting in there, and someone said, "Oh yeah, you got to check out this website." And I was like, "Oh, what's that?" It's called YouTube. And you go on there, and it was the YouTube logo, and it would say, what was it? Broadcast yourself. And I was like, broadcast yourself? And anyway, here we are today, man, 20 years later, and I'm still consuming content. I mean, it's like every year I consume more and more and more. And I know most everyone else is like that too. You learn so much from this website or app, whatever. It's just amazing how many things I've been able to accomplish. How much DIY I've been able to do over the years versus having to hire something to someone else, hire out someone else to do a job for me. Everything from working on my car to woodworking to Lego to how to become a better musician to self-improvement. I've learned it from YouTube, and I have so much thanks to give to it. I'm incredibly grateful for that website. It changed my life, as I know it has so many others, and I'm here to give back to it. I'm here to start uploading. If it results in views, man, great. But I've always loved making videos. You know, I'm from the days of the old school when we had handy cams and camcorders with the big monstrosity sitting on your shoulder and the little viewfinder. You know, me and my friends, and we used to make videos when we were kids and had the VHS tape, and we'd, you know, take it to each other's house and watch it over and over because it was the coolest thing back in those days. And, you know, the fact that you can do this all on your phone or some little, you know, stick camera like this Osmo that I'm on, you know, 4K with 60 frames per second, all this, man, it's crazy. It's crazy how far the tech has come. But yeah, I'm here to do content. This was a low barrier of entry to film myself doing DoorDash. And I'm going to continue to do that. It's going to be more like videos like this, more off the cuff, off the dome. Because I need to get better at being off the cuff and off the dome. Also looking at the lens. I always want to look at the screen. But, you know, I encourage anyone who is tired of the life that they've been living, who's tired of having their time controlled. You know, I encourage anyone to start looking into how you can break out of that cycle. Break out of that trap, you know, especially if you don't have a job that you like. If you have a job you like, then you're probably fine. And I'm not, you know, I'm not some life coach, so I'm not telling you, hey, you got to do this. Go to DoorDash, start uploading content. I'm never going to tell anyone to do that. But if you do it for yourself first, you know, you'll change so much about your life. You'll find out so much about you. And, you know, as I have been these last couple of months, you know, I started doing this back in November, like I said, Man, I haven't really looked back. I did take January off. There was just a few things that kind of derailed, and then I had some other stuff going on, and I had enough money to kind of sustain me. And so now, before that gets critically low, I'm going to get back to grinding and knocking this out, because I really don't like having days where I don't earn anything. There's some revenue streams I'm working on, where I'm about to where I can have my money work for me versus me having to trade my time. But as long as I have time to trade, I'm going to do that as well. And that's why I'm out here doing this. So the gig apps are incredibly convenient. And if you get out here and hustle your ass off, like you just get up, show up, don't lay in bed half the day and don't fart around, get out there and get to work. You're going to change your life. I'm telling you. And you'll find that things work out for you so much better if you just get up and show up. It's not easy, but nothing is. So with that being said, guys, it'll be tomorrow, which is Thursday. So happy Thursday. And I will see you guys on the next one.